handle the truth.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Thomas Freeme TV and podcast show. Many blessings. Once again, thank you for joining back in. And I pray that everybody's okay, everybody's safe, everybody's sound, that your bellies are full and that you're tucked in. We have a very important show tonight. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Miss Sarah from last week, and we're going to talk about a very important subject. So let me go ahead and get Miss Sarah into the room. Sarah, what's up? Great to have you back. How you doing? Yeah, yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that you have sound in here. Uh, uh, uh. Let me get a sound check.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
So, as you guys can see, I have a couple things up on the screen, visuals, graphics, whatever you want to call them. One, of course, is Miss Sarah's website to her organization. Very important organization. Please check that out. The link below that, I'm exhausted, so please bear with me. The link below that is saverichardglossip.com. And this is what we will be talking about tonight. Please check that website out and get involved in that. What you will see is over here to the left. Unless we act now, Oklahoma will execute an innocent man on December 8th, 2022. So fill us in, Sarah. This is your deal.
All right. So 20 years ago, Richard Glossip was wrongfully convicted of a murder he had no part in. He was a manager of a motel, and his boss was murdered by a man named Robert Sneed. And Robert Sneed made a plea deal with the police so he wouldn't get the death penalty. He said, well, Richard talked me into it. So they arrested Richard. And with the first court case, his attorney absolutely botched it. In fact, he's been disbarred since then. He was such a bad attorney. And so Richard was put on death row immediately following his conviction. And this man has been put on death watch 3 times. He has nearly escaped the execution 3 times. He has been served 3 last meals. So he's nearly died 3 times. Oklahoma is set on killing this man, and he has got Democrats and Republicans in Oklahoma and Congress in that state who are trying their best to get him off of death row. I mean, it's not often they come together.
So,
and also, what were we gonna say?
well, so just to fill in a little bit about what what Sarah's saying, because what she's saying has a lot of weight. And I want the listeners to really understand what this human being, Richard Glossip, has gone through, right? What she said is that this man has gone through 3 rehearsals already, three attempts, right? There's been 3 stays on his life while he's been on death row. Now, what that means is these stays come in at the last minute, right? So this human being has been sitting in a room probably since midnight, just sitting in this one cell that is the cell that's designated for you. When you leave this cell, you go straight to, what is death row on Oklahoma? Is it injection?
Yes, it's injection.
The injection, right. So when you leave that cell, you go straight from there to the injection room, right? Now, mind you, while you're in this cell, you're not sleeping. You're just sitting in there. And you in your mind, you know that you are about to die. These are the last hours of your life. And what they're doing outside of this cell is rehearsals. They're running rehearsals in front of you. They'll have a trustee or another officer or whatever that's dressed as you, and they walk through the whole procedure in front of you. You're watching the procedure to your death. This man went through this 3 times already. So I just want the listener to understand the magnitude, the torment, the mental torment that this man has been through already. Okay.
And so what happened was he did go through a second trial But not only were his attorneys again unprepared, but there was new evidence, but the district attorney has been hiding that new evidence. And the politicians there in Oklahoma discovered it. And not only are they calling for a new trial, but they want the district attorney to be investigated. Now, he was supposed to be executed September 22nd, but because of new evidence, Kevin Stitt, the governor, has set a new date on December 8th. So right now it's now or never. I truly believe this is it. Either he gets off now or he's gonna get executed. So we
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
act
Well,
now.
they're only going to give so many stays, right? So
Right.
we're talking about the 1997 murder of Barry Van Treese, who was the owner of the Best Budget Motel in Oklahoma City. And Glossip, Richard Glossip, worked as a manager. No one has ever accused him of actually killing Van Treese, other than this Justin Sneed guy,
Yeah,
right?
just to see that's it.
Justin Sneed guy who he was a maintenance worker at the motel, and he is the one who admittedly beat this man. First, he said he beat him with, I think, a bat or something like that. But then, as the autopsy came out, you know, there was puncture wounds, and there was an actual knife up under the body. So then, you know, they had to change their whole story, because they originally testified to the fact that he was beaten to death, but now they're finding that he was stabbed to death. I mean, when you sit here and you go through some of the devil's in the details, right? When you start going through the details of some of these cases, you start finding that, yes, this prosecutor withheld evidence, destroyed evidence, all because what ends up happening is they get involved into an investigation, and they start to find out that their snitches or whatever was just giving bad information. And they're not going to just scrap months of investigation and money and all of that. They're not going to do that. So they try to make the pieces fit. That's what they tried to do. So, yes, well, December 8th, this man is set to die again. And I'm looking for there's a quote from, because this prosecutor, speaking on the prosecutor, it says, last year the global law firm Reed Smith was invited by state legislators to take a close look at the Glossip conviction. They produced a 343-page report which revealed a spate of alarming deficiencies in the prosecution. Reed Smith revealed that critical physical evidence and financial documents had been destroyed by prosecutors before Glossip's trial, a gross violation of legal process, while other evidence that could have transformed the case was never presented to the jury. The firm concluded that no reasonable jury hearing the complete record would have convicted Richard Glossip of first-degree murder. Now, this is, oh boy, this is where my blood starts to boil again, because I've witnessed prosecutorial misconduct firsthand. I've been involved in it, and nothing ever happens to these people. Nothing ever happens to these people. I want to know what's the prosecutor's name?
I don't know. I can look it up real quick. So
I want to put these people on blast, man.
no,
And
absolutely.
they never do. They never do. They never put the prosecutor. They just say the prosecutor, the state prosecutor, the state. Put these people on blast. They don't have no problem putting Richard Glossip's name in the article 100 times, you know, his lawyer and everybody else, but they will not put the prosecutor's name. Because this is the thing. We the people have to start holding these people accountable. I was held accountable for my crimes. I'm still held accountable now in the community. The community still shuns me now for my crimes. But yet, when prosecutors are proven to do the atrocities that they commit, to commit the atrocities that they commit, there's never no repercussions to them. Never. Every once in a while, we'll get a news clip of a prosecutor being arrested. True enough, right? In the case with Ahmaud Arbery up there in Georgia. You know, we had to get the federal government involved to investigate, because if
Yep.
people wasn't speaking out, then people would have got away with the murder of Ahmaud Arbery because of that
Same with
prosecutor.
Elijah McClain. We had to speak out in order to get indictments.
Indictments for them to actually investigate, and they did the right thing. So kudos to the Georgia Bureau, you know, for doing the right thing and upholding American citizens, man. And here again, we have another American citizen that is going to go through this again for a fourth time. And
I
it's
tried to find the
probably going to be the
prosecutor's
last
name.
time.
I'm trying to find the prosecutor's name. All they're saying is the prosecutor. They are talking about the district attorney, David Prater. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, who has withheld evidence. He and the original district attorney who got him there in the first place, Robert Macy. He got a lot of innocent people on death row, like Julius Jones, and David Prater worked directly under him. So everything he's been doing, such as withholding evidence, he learned from Robert Macy.
And that's how horrible our judicial system is that we can sit here and know absolutely for sure that there was prosecutorial misconduct and that this man did not get a fair trial, but yet he's still sentenced to die. He's still going up to die. You know, again with Temujin Kinsu up in Michigan, all the evidence of just overwhelming. There's more evidence of corruption than there was to convict, and yet these people are still in prison. This is what I don't get about our system. This is why when I sit here and I tell these politicians that our system is corrupt, and you know that it's corrupt, I'm called a radical. These people look at me like I'm radical. How am I radical? I'm going by what you show me. I'm going by statistics. I'm going by
That's happened to me
factual
too.
data. And I'm going by my own experiences within your system. And I'm telling you about it. And you're telling me I'm wrong. I'm crazy. I'm a radical.
Oh, I get told all the time, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, you have the irony.
So please make sure that you do go visit the website Save Richard Glossip. If you go to the article that I'm reading from is from The Guardian. If you go and you just Google "innocent is innocent" Richard Glossip, you'll see the article from The Guardian. Within that is the 353 page. There's a link to it. There's a 353 page the report that I was just reading from, so you can go see yourself for your own eyes. And people, we the people, we have to get involved. We have to get involved. This is what I've been talking about since the inception of my podcast is us getting involved. We sit back and we expect our government to do the right thing. They are not going to do it. They've proven it. How many times do they have to prove it? We have 5 individuals that were murdered out in California because our now vice president withheld information to show her own corruption, Kamala Harris. What is different? How are these people not murderers? How do we not look at these people like murderers? Because to me, my definition of murder is taking somebody else's life for my own self-gratification, my own self, my ego, my egoic self, for me to move forward. Or whatever the reason was that I eliminated another human life, it was for my own purpose. To me, that is what murder is. So how is it any different from a prosecutor doing it and any other person that holds a gun to somebody's house and murders them? The only difference is that these prosecutors' weapon is the law that they're using and the power that they wield with it.
Completely agree.
How is it different? How are we not holding these people accountable? It's disgusting to me.
Mhm. No, I agree with you. And I've been saying this on my TikTok, my Instagram. We have to speak out. We have to make noise and we have to call them out, because I've seen what we can do when we all get mad, we all make noise, because I've seen us stop executions. I've seen us overturn wrongful convictions. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened. So think about if we do it more, if we do it just, if it's constant, we can make change.
Sarah, we witnessed it. We witnessed it with the truckers out in Colorado, right? We watched it as this man got sentenced to 110 years. Let's not forget
Yep.
what happened, people. This
Mhm.
trucker got sentenced to 110 years, and our American truckers laid down. And they came in and changed that man's sentence and knocked 100 years off his sentence in a time record fashion. I've never seen anybody go in there and get 100 years knocked off their sentence within 6 months. You know, the 6 or 7 months that it took to get him. But
I
that
remember that.
happened because of there was a stand. People were making a stand, and the government knows it's wrong. When we make that stand, the government knows it's wrong. Point blank. This is why I want this prosecutor's name on blast, because I want people out there with picket signs. When that man's name comes up on voting tickets, I want people to see these names so they know, no, that's the name from that case. I know he's no good, you
Mhm.
know? Shit really grinds my gears, man.
I will find that out though.
Mm,
And
mm, mm.
sadly, with Richard Glossip's case, the plea deal that Justin made, like, not that this is an excuse, but I hear about this often with wrongful convictions, a plea deal being made and someone being wrongfully convicted solely based on the person's testimony. I hear this time and time again. It angers me.
See, like it says here in the article, how could Van Treese have cuts on his body when Sneed was the only attacker but did not use the knife, according to according to Reed Smith investigators? Smotherman sent an email to Sneed's lawyer on the same day as Coy's testimony. Coy was the medical examiner. Our biggest problem is still the knife, the prosecutor told Walker. The victim and Justin both have lacerations which could be caused from fighting, falling on furniture with edges, or from a knife blade. See, that's what gets me is people understand Richard Glossip was not involved in the incident. He was not there, he was not involved in it. All this Justin Sneed guy did was turn around and say that the manager of the hotel ordered him to do it because he was the maintenance man. So this is like a Days Inn. You know what I mean? It's like a Days Inn. It's like a budget hotel. You know what I mean? And you have the maintenance man, which is a drug addict. You know what I mean? And he just says, "Oh well, the manager he told me to do it." And these clowns actually just go and arrest this man, indict this man, and try this man all on Sneed's testimony that the manager made me do it. And this man is sitting on death row for it. That's how crazy Oklahoma is, man. Well,
And
I tell
Steve's
you.
own family have said he did it. Richard had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and there is actual, because there's new evidence coming out of this all the time, and there's actual evidence that came out where Sneed wrote a letter to his lawyer, his attorney of that time that was handling all of that, and said something about him wanting to clear his conscience, that it's really been eating at him. It's just crazy, you know. And the thing of it is like, when you have something like this, right? Because at the end of the day, this human being is not being taken into consideration.
No.
His rights as an American citizen is not being taken into consideration at all. And when you sit here and you look at this man's case and you say there is discrepancy within this case, right? Why is he still on death row? Why has he not been taken off death row and placed on life? You know what I mean? Until more comes out. But to sit here and keep chasing this death row, placing this man on here is having such a mental effect on him that even if he was to be exonerated, what good is he now? What, this man is going to come home, you know, so filled with PTSD, with anxiety, with so much trauma, It's going to take years to unravel that, no matter how many millions of dollars you give this person. So what is this person supposed to do with his life now? This is his life. It's all he's got. Just like it's all I have, all you have, all anybody else has. This is his life. And he had plans with his life that Oklahoma came and snatched up at the word of some crackhead maintenance man out of a best budget hotel. This is our judicial system. This is what's so ludicrous, man. And we, the people, don't say nothing about it. We don't say nothing.
It never, this hardly makes the news, too. This happens all the time, and it hardly makes the news.
We have a man out in Arizona, Sarah. I don't know if you're familiar, Frank Kepler. The man got 7 life sentences for marijuana. Nobody died. There was no assault, no nothing like that. 7 life sentences for marijuana.
Oh, I need to look into that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, we got the things are moving on his case now. He's got another hearing coming up, but this man's been incarcerated for 14 years. And I say that to say that how do we not hear about that? How do we not hear nationally that there is a man in Arizona that got 7 life sentences for marijuana? When somebody gets 7 life sentences, you're a serial killer, you're a cop killer, you're a serial pedophile. You've done something so egregious that you've gotten 7 life sentences. But they gave this man 7 life sentences, Sarah, because they promised the snitch, who was again getting out of his trouble, that this man would never get out of prison and that he would be safe. He got all immunity from his crimes and everything to testify against this man.
For marijuana.
For marijuana, for trafficking marijuana. We have people in position that use our judicial system as a means of self-empowerment and a means of punishment. You know what I mean? As a means of vengeance. Right? I got punished for going to trial. I got punished for using my constitutional right to go to trial. Meanwhile, the people that were bringing all the cocaine into America got 5 and 6 years. The kingpin that was bringing all the cocaine into America that was responsible for it trafficking all over the state of Florida got 5 years. I got 20. Because I didn't rat, because I didn't cooperate. So they want to make a lesson out of me for using my right to go to trial because it was conspiracy. They had no evidence of anything, but they don't need it.
No.
We're going to try to get the family of Richard Glossip to see if they would like to do a full-scale interview so we can get all the facts. We can hear it from the horse's mouth of exactly what's going on, where we stand with that. But again, in summarizing and wrapping up, we're going to get out of here a little bit early. But please visit the website that you see and sign the petition. Is there a petition on the website? Let me see.
There is. Please sign the petition.
I'm sure that there is. So yeah, please go on there, find the petition, sign the petition. Get involved in any way that you can. If there's numbers for you to call, just make a phone call to save a man's life. You know what I mean? That's all we're asking you to do. That's all I'm asking as one American citizen to another is for you just to take a moment, stop watching football or whatever it is, go to the site, read it, make a determination for yourself. You know what I mean? Just take that moment for this American citizen who was fighting for his life. He needs us. And I'm asking you to do that. So please just do that. Sarah, what you got for us to wrap up with?
All right, so this is going on in Oklahoma, so please call up Kevin Stitt. That is the governor, and you can Google him very easily, find out his number, call him. You can email him. It just takes a minute. And we've done this with Kevin Stitt before. Julius Jones, we saved his life there in Oklahoma. We can do it with Richard Glossip. I know it.
Yeah, Julius Jones. I did a show on Julius Jones too about that stay. But absolutely right. Julius Jones is another example of what we can do. So once again, man, Sarah, thank you for coming on the show and bringing this to my viewers' attention. And hopefully we can get on that and get that thing done. And we'll see you next week, man. Is everything okay? You all right?
Yes, just narcolepsy's getting to me a little bit, but I'm glad I came on tonight. I'm very glad.
Yeah, sometimes it helps just to come on and just expel, get
I
things
know
out.
it did help a lot.
So go relax, go kick it. I'm gonna go kick it, and we'll see y'all next Thursday, man. Until then, you guys stay blessed. Stay out of your emotions, please. Think critically and help your neighbor out, man. Let's start looking out for one another because nobody else is gonna do it. So let's just look out for one another, be kinder to each other, and let's pick up our communities, man. Let's clean our streets up and be better people and just build towards euphoria, man. Whatever. All right, y'all. Take care.